talking about your journey with therapy, when did you know it was time for you to seek therapy?
Um, I believe it was around the time that I was going through a breakup and also making a transition business wise in life. But I was just like, to be honest with you, I was raged at black women.
Mm-hmm.
Like, um, a lot of things that I felt like happened to me in my life. Um, Starting from me being 12 years old and like being raped by a stripper. That was kind of like, I think, the first thing that I can remember that kind of started me on this track was just having a little animosity, but also love, because I always loved black women, but at the end of the day, I just didn't understand why I felt like I would get hurt by them. So after a while, I was just like, something in me need to get this stuff out so I could just start understanding, and that's pretty much why I started, because I was developing this hate that I didn't want in my heart.
I understand. Okay. So when you think about your first session, what were your feelings like leading up to your first session? Like, what was
It
going
was
on
a
in your head?
it was a ton of anxiety. Um, so a lot of therapists require you to like fill out forms as far as like asking you certain questions so they could, I guess, have a vantage point when it's time to start the conversation. I mean,
Yes.
I'm guessing that's normal.
Yeah.
Just filling out that paperwork had my anxiety so high. I had tears while I was filling it out because I couldn't understand why I was even writing what I was writing, but it came so normal, so I could feel the hate. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So like I was just like, I gotta get this off me. But it was a ton of anxiety because I didn't know. I come from the culture where, you're weak if you go to therapy.
Mhm.
You weak if you're a man and you cry. So like all this going through my mind, I'm just like, I used to be like, forget therapy, but so leading up, I just didn't know what to expect. I just thought it would be something like a judgment zone the whole time, like you're just getting judged and being told about yourself, and that's it, with no sense of guidance or like trying to figure it out and breaking it down to where you can understand it, and it don't sound like the worst person in the world.
Yeah. Yeah, that's totally understandable. So are you still in therapy right now?
Yes,
How has your journey been from like the beginning to the end?
it's been I won't say it's been a long journey. I would like to believe that because I put work in, I turned around a lot of things quick. Because to me, I consider it quick because I've been like this my whole life. So
Yeah.
for me to be in therapy for like a year and a half, or however long, I don't think it's more than 2 years, to see like just my mindset, and how like I even may have not gotten rid of my ego,
Yeah.
but I have balance with it more now, and I can identify every time I lead with my ego. And that was probably the major thing that I had to go through in therapy, because I had to knock down the ego, because my ego I always thought was my superpower,
Yeah.
and it probably still is, but now I can know how to use it better. You know?
Exactly. Okay. And I think that's a good point that you made about your ego, knowing how to use your ego, because a lot of the times our egos can come up as defense. It's like a wall,
Right.
and then when it comes out, it's like
Yeah.
like it's just not what you're trying to do, but that's what comes out because you're trying to protect what's going on in the inside.
Right.
So any advice would you give to anybody who needed to start therapy, specifically black men, because of how we know society, how hard it can be on black men wanting to try therapy? Any advice you may have for them?
Um, I think that the stigma is gone, like how we always used to view it.
Yeah.
So I think that now more than ever, is a good time. Now I understand that in some cultures it's still kind of like that hard disdain for therapy, and I get it. But I would just say that, I mean, with everything going on in today's society, like we're accepting of so much stuff that we used to not been. So like, you know, it's almost like the whole snitching thing. Like if we cool with that, or everything, like, and I'm not trying to relate it, but I'm just saying, like, it's 2023. Like, go get you some therapy. If it's on your mind because you're worried about what people think, that should be dead at this point. Like, so many people are transparent and expose themselves to like their truth. Just live in that. But I would also say that, um, like the number one thing is that when you take on this and you're in therapy, one of the things I learned is you can't take shit personal, and that was probably like the biggest thing for me,
Yeah.
because I took everything personal before therapy.
Yeah.
Like I'm on go
Mhm.
if I feel disrespected, but at the end of the day, and some of that may be old age, but no, I can't say that because if it wasn't for therapy, I wouldn't think that way. But I would recommend anybody and everybody to at least give it a shot. And in the first person you meet, I was blessed. The first person I had turned out to be what I needed. Some people might not get that, that opportunity. It might be somebody that it might not be fitting for them,
Right.
but you could do, you could, figure it out and try some other people. But hopefully you're blessed to be able to have the first one be good with you.
Yeah. All right, Nick. Well, that sums up our interview. I just wanted to give you guys a glimpse of what the journey to therapy may be like when, especially coming from a black man, because we don't get to see that a lot in our community. Nick, I would like to thank you again for participating in this interview with me.